yeah, some of that is like that. So I kind of learned to not take it personally. And then I actually, I found it funny that they were just like, yeah, you're a redhead, we're not doing that. I always found it hilarious, but I also had like a stand-up career and always viewed acting as this thing that I loved to do, but it was just so out of my control that I couldn't put a lot of like I don't know, I don't know how like you those fucking like once you prove you're funny as a comedian and you're not an asshole and you're easy to work with, like I go to the club, I sold tickets, you're going to book me the next year. Like actors, they fucking go out and they win awards and then they still got to fucking call directors and come on, just give me a chance. I got to like when Jim Carrey got Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
He was making $20 million a fucking movie, was like the biggest box office star, and he had to put himself on tape to get it. So like I have such a respect for like acting and all that shit. Like everybody thinks that they can do it and everything. It's like, really? Daniel Day-Lewis like pretending to be fucking Abraham Lincoln for a year, learning that he had a high-pitched voice.
That's the craziest part of that whole thing is figuring out like, oh, I know that you guys think this sounds funny, but I did the research. That's actually what his voice sounded like.
Oh, I mean, like that guy's acting. You know what I mean? Like there's different levels of it. Like I feel like my acting is like on the joke book level. Like, hey, two guys walking to a bar, you know what I mean? Like, I can tell a joke. I can do what you do, Jim. You know, like people who think that, the people who are funny at the water bubble. And then there's actually, like, the one I always bring up is, what's his face? Anthony Hopkins. Where, like, when he played Hannibal Lecter, that would have ended most people's career. They never would have been able to see him as anything else. And then the very next one, he played like John Quincy Adams in Amistad, and he was fucking John Quincy Adams. There wasn't a shred of Hannibal Lecter. I totally believed it. It'd be like a Mel Blanc thing, where Mel Blanc, you couldn't hear any Bugs Bunny or Yosemite Sam in either one of those voices. And then when he talked, you didn't hear
any of them.
Yeah. And he's able to do that visually as you look at, like the way he holds his body and all of that shit. I remember DeRosa one time said he watched this thing on Travolta, and Travolta was just talking about the different walks, going, okay, Vinnie Barbarino walk like this, Get Shorty walk like this, Vincent Vega walk like that. And it was just like, dude, he comes up with walks. And it's just like, that's right. And then I started thinking of my small acting career. It's like every character I ever played walked exactly the way I did. I feel this guy's a lot like me.
Well, you were good on Crashing.
I played myself.
Yeah, it was great. Good episode.
But then you have to find a woman that's going to put up with a guy who's acting like Abe Lincoln for a year. Like, how many fucking people will live with a guy
talking
like
real life,
Abe Lincoln? Like, ugh.
What about when he did My Left Foot? She could have pushed him around the house for a whole fucking year.
He retired. I guess he got tired of it. It was just too much.
I would think so.
He's just done. Either that or he wants to sell this new movie. It's his last one. Maybe he'll come back and do another one.
Did anybody see that new movie? Isn't it the Paul Thomas Anderson movie?
I don't even know if it's out yet. Is it out?
I think it came out, but I just don't think it got any kind of wide release.
I don't know.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Oh,
but anyways, it's as long as there's people like that out there acting, like it just doesn't feel like, hey, you're a good actor. It's like compared to what?
Yeah. Yeah, there's always going to be.
I can sound believable.